Well, hi there, crypto fans. Dick Allgire here from the beach again, and I want to talk about access management and what's coming in the insidious nature of how we're being programmed and being just set up to accept what's coming. I'll tell you a story. Back in 1985, a friend of mine came to Hawaii because one of his friends had a ticket on United Airlines, Denver to Hawaii, and the guy couldn't use it. So he said, "Hey, I got a ticket to Hawaii. Do you want to use it?" And my friend Dan said, "Sure, give it to me." So he went to the airport, presented the ticket. He didn't need to show ID. They let him to the boarding area without a shakedown, without going through TSA. And he used a ticket issued to another person. Came to Hawaii, became a news cameraman, and became my friend. Fast forward to 2001, when there was an event where some traumatic things happened and some buildings fell down, and that brought in a new era where in order to get on an airplane, you had to present ID at various, like 3 or 4 steps along the way. They had TSA shake you down, paw through your stuff, take your belt off, take your shoes, and we accepted that. We accepted that restriction of access management to airplanes. They also set up access management checkpoints at federal buildings. I would go to the federal building as a reporter, even though this was a public building. I was a known person, a reporter. I'd done that many times. We had to stand there and go through a metal detector and show our ID and go through a whole checkpoint, be patted down, and we accepted that. All right, here's a news story that I mentioned a couple of days ago, that you no longer need a boarding pass at Honolulu Airport because of the new digital ID. Your digital body, in a sense, becomes, once you've been validated and authenticated, you become the boarding pass. So it makes it ever so much easier. We have so many passwords. I have a password I have to remember and log in to get into the application that keeps all my other passwords, and I have about 80 of them. So password management. It's going to be so much easier when we have a digital ID. You won't need to remember all those passwords. You'll just be able to log on with your face. It'll be so much better. Which brings us to access management. Good morning, how are you? Isn't it beautiful?
Yes, it is.
Where are you from?
Virginia.
It's not quite like this in Virginia. Virginia's nice, but
Yeah, but the water is not like this at all.
enjoy your time in Hawaii.
Yes, thank you.
Aloha, have a good time.
Aloha.
So, where was I? Access management. Passwords, yeah. I drove to this beach today in a Mercedes SUV that uses premium gasoline. The sun went away. The lighting's not so good now. Yeah, it's not the most carbon-friendly, sustainable form of transportation, me driving myself in a Mercedes SUV, but I like it, and I'm going to continue to do that. I could buy an electric vehicle, and I could get my power from a coal-fired power plant that would transmits the energy to a charger and achieves basically the same thing. I mean, it puts carbon out into the atmosphere, and I have to find a charger, and then I have to use all the batteries that are not environmentally friendly. So don't get me started on that. I drive an SUV. I drive a Mercedes, and it uses premium gas, and I'm allowed to do that. But with what's coming with access management and your digital ID, pretty soon they can check where you're going at an airport. They can check where you're going at a federal building. They'll check when you're going to the beach, because it'll all be hooked into the Internet of Things. And if I'm deemed to be not sustainable by driving a big SUV that is emitting too much carbon, and I don't have the carbon credits, I will not be allowed access to this beach. That will, the cars of the future will be hooked up to an internet on a blockchain with your permissions built into the system based on your social credit score and your digital ID. So if I don't have the carbon credits and it's time for me to come to this beach and I haven't been environmentally sustainable, the car just won't drive me here. It'll be like not permitted. We're already have people that are not permitted, you know, at airports. If you don't, you know, I used to go, when we were in the news and someone famous came in, we'd know what flight they were going to be on, and the publicist would tell us, or your family would come in. You could just simply walk out to the gate, no security, and people came off the plane. Hi, how you doing? Walk them out there. No longer allowed. Access management, it's coming, it's insidious, it's being instigated with the blockchain. We're going to an interesting new world, but it's a beautiful day. That guy from Virginia paid a lot of money to come here, to stand right here where I get to stand every day. So I have no complaints for now. Aloha.